Hello everybody, back again with a video with TryHackMe here on the VulnVersity today. Okay, this is a fun little box, so without further ado, let's get this underway. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, so we deployed the machine, we're going to open up some reconnaissance. So we're going to stand off with our standard Nmap script, which is Nmap -a for all services, so it includes OS section and version section, executing inbuilt scripts for further enumerations of basic scripts. If you want to be really exciting, we can do default scripts as well. And then we're going to -v, so we have a bit more of a juicy output when we do something, so you see follow Nmap. We'll do all ports as well, we like all ports, or we could just do top 400. Let's do top 400, see what happens. I doubt it, but we'll probably have to do all ports. I'm not going to bother with output today. I'm not going to do that. I wanted to check that the host is live, because although TryHackMe is very good, it does have an issue where machines seem to die for no reason. Okay. What I should have done was dash after that. Top 400. There we go. Okay. So whilst that's running, I'm going to tell you why we don't do top 400. So that's going to keep doing its thing, but as you'll see from the output and my initial scan properly, that top 400 isn't enough, because it's going to scan the top 400 most popular ports. So what we're going to do, we should always just do your standard -p. That means it's going to scan everything. There's that run. You'll see a difference in the output. So let's come down. We'll wait for this to do. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this video, and then once it's done, we'll come back and compare the two outputs. Okay, YouTube, so the first top 400 port scan came back a lot quicker than this one. This one will go on for a while, but I'm going to pause it there because I don't need it because I've already got a scan. So if I go to ls here, I've already got VulnVersity Nmap thing here. Okay, so how you get that into this kind of format is, so if we look at our previous Nmap scan, if you -OA, that will output a map kind of report. So if we just put it as that, it'll come back with test XML, etc. Okay, so if you run that, that'll run and it'll come up with some reports. Now after that, what we need to do is we need to convert these reports into HTML so we can open it up with Firefox. So what we need to do now is we use a tool called XSLT-proc, okay? And what this does, this converts XML to HTML. So if we do that, and do that, there's nothing in that one. Let's try, we'll just do VulnVersity because I know they're good. VulnVersity XML. You get a little HTML script. So what we can do is we can output that into, say, VulnVersity HTML. Okay, I've already got that, so I'm not going to do it again. But what this does is this converts it into a nice little report that is easy for us to read. So what the point I'm trying to make is the difference in a full scan and a partial scan. So Firefox VulnVersity HTML. Okay, so this scan was a all port scan, as you can see there, and then the output of this scan, as we can see up here, was a top 400 scan. So if you do the top 400, you'll get the most common top 400 ports. So 21, 22, 139. So it only picked up 3 ports, right? So that wouldn't be enough to fully enumerate this machine. So that's why we scanned the all ports, because then we picked up the additional ports here. Okay, and this being odd port as well for this kind of server. So this wouldn't have been picked up with a default top 100. So that's why you do full ones. So that aside, let's get rid of that because we don't need it anymore. That was rubbish. What we can do is we see from the output of the Nmap scan, we can now answer all these questions. So yeah, so there's a cheat sheet thing there. Scan the box, how many protocols, how many ports are open, so we can count the ports down by here. What version of the Squid proxy is running on the machine, that's the version there. How many ports will Nmap scan if this is the flag? I'm not going to answer that one. Using Nmap flag -n, what will it not resolve? And what we can do to find that information out is Nmap -h, and that'll give you the Nmap flag output. So all we need to do is cycle through this until we find n. The easiest thing that might need to be done is just do the sim again, pipe grep, and then look for a flag -n. And I was looking for, just do that. What's wrong with that? -- maybe. Okay, I don't know why that's coming back. We'll just ignore that. I don't want to mess around with that. So if you search through here, you look for something with -n. Let's go. -n. I'll pause the video and I'll get back to you. Okay, found it in the end. So -n, never do DNS resolution. Always resolve. No, plus is that one there. Never do DNS resolution is the first one. So what we're not going to resolve. Okay. And the next one is, what is most likely operating system this machine is running? Okay. We have a big clue. So we have the OS enumeration detection here. All says Linux, but the biggest clue is this thing here. Okay. And then what port is the web server running on? So HTTP server, big clue. And what port is it running on? That's your answer. So, I've not told you what the answers are. Look for yourself. Okay, so the next one is GoBuster. So, I don't particularly like GoBuster. Don't really get on with it. So, best thing you can, well, it's up to you what you want to do. I like to use Dirb. Dirb has its own kind of pros and cons. Just personal preference, really. You can go through Dirb. Dirb works the same as Dirb, really. But I'm just going to quickly run through Dirb. If you want to use GoBuster, you can. Perfectly fine. What I like to do is use Dirb as like an initial scan. Then if I want to drill even deeper, what I generally do is I use wfuzz. There's plenty of tutorials out there on wfuzz. If there's interesting walkthroughs and stuff like that. The only thing I say about wfuzz is it requires the syntax to be in order, which can throw some people. It threw me. So why isn't the syntax working? The syntax is correct, but no, it's got to be in order for some reason. But wfuzz is pretty good because it's highly customizable. These guys are pretty much just like, they're customizable, but I prefer wfuzz. So the thing is, so whilst that's running, what we can do, we can kick up Burpsuite. Should probably kick up, I don't want to mess about that. Kick up Burpsuite in here. So if you go Burpsuite ampersand, so we can still use our shell. That's going to do its thing. Move, and then it's going to upset itself. Thrown an error for some reason. Okay, so at the risk of upsetting Dirb, yep, that does do that. That's great, great fun. That's probably one of the worst features of Dirb. It kills itself if you mess around with the shell. So I like to run burp as root in case it tries to access any kind of sockets or anything like that. And then try the ampersand thing again, but it might upset itself once again. Go away. Okay. Delete it. Go on, go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Okay, what we're going to do is, so we're going to direct our browser to use burp, because we'll need it in a bit, and it's always good, I think, to check anyway, whenever we're doing web browser stuff. So HTTP options. Okay, that's our configuration there. So I've already configured mine to use Foxy Proxy, but if you haven't done that one, what you can do is you can go onto the burger we go into preferences, cycle down, you go to settings, and then you go manual proxy setting configuration, and just put this information in here. So our interface and then port 8080. Okay, so no proxy, automatically configure. Boom. So if you do have proxy, if you do use Burp a lot, I'd recommend installing proxy. It's quite easy to use, and it just basically does all this sort of craziness just by clicking a button, so you can turn it on and off nicely. Cool. So proxy intercept is off. We'll be using that momentarily. Okay, waiting for this to come back with some interesting information. It's taking its time, but it's going to. Assuming I got the right IP in there. Yeah. Okay. We are getting somewhere. Okay, so as a real penetration tester, what you'd be doing now is you'd be, oh for goodness sake, I've done that thing again. Oh, that's the worst feature of Dirb. That is mental. But anyway, if you leave this running, you'll get information back, and it'll be internal. See it? There it is. So what you want to do is the output from Dirb. You want to go through and check each directory thing. So what we're going to do is go internal, and we come up with this. Okay. So let's try and upload some. See what happens. Just choose anything. So browse, test Nmap. Boom. Okay. Submit. Okay. Index PHP. Okay, that confirms this is a PHP website. So we can if we can upload a PHP reverse shell, we'll have code execution, or code execution over reverse shell, should I say? Okay. So let's try and send that to Burpsuite. Do an intruder attack. See what it accepts. So let's browse because it doesn't accept that extension. So we'll do Nmap. Open. Okay, and then we'll go to our burp because we'll be needing that now. And we're going to go intercept on, and then we're going to catch the request. That's here. And we're going to right click, send that to Intruder. And then within Intruder, we're going to look at the positions and undo the payload. And we'll go back to Intruder. Sorry, I was undoing the proxy. And then we're going to get rid of this. We're going to clear all these fields that it's automatically generated or identified. We're going to do the extension because we want to change the extension to see what extensions this website accepts. And then we're going to add that to our Intruder tab. Then we're going to move to payloads, and then we're going to basically just see what it has. PH2, PHP 3. Now if you want to know what the official extensions are for this, all you need to do is look on the web. I'll just put it in. I know these are like roughly what I'm looking for, so that's fine. So what we're going to do now, just check everything. Proxies are that's wrong button. Intruder. So here's my payloads. That's fine. I'm happy with that. We're using sniper, so we're only using one field. Yeah, we're only changing the extension, not the dot, just the extension. Yeah, it's good to me. We're going to start the web attack. Off we go. Okay. What's going on there? Let me just have a little boot around. Okay, I put the wrong extension in there. We're moving too fast. Okay, so go payloads again, and we'll add PHTML. Got cold hands. That's why that's happened. And I'm just a bit of an idiot. Okay, so let's roll. Let's get start the attack again, and then it'll come back with 723. Cool. So you can guarantee the response from this is going to be nah, saying no, and then when it's allowed, something's changed and it's gone. The output will be different. So people say success or something like that. I don't know. If I was to investigate, I'll see something different. Okay. So now what we're going to do, now we know the extension of our file is accepted as a PHTML. We're going to get ourselves a reverse shell using PHTML. So let's get rid of this. We won't be needing Burpsuite anymore, so you can go away. She wants to exit. Yes. Okay, get rid of that. And then we are going to go on to Git and get ourselves a PHP reverse shell. So PHP reverse Git. Okay, the top one should be pen test. And then we go to PHP reverse shell and just copy and paste this into a file, and that'll give you what you want. The only bit you need to change is this, because this is going to be the callback to you. So change up your IP and open port that you've specified. Okay, so once you've copied and pasted that, I've already done this, so I'm not going to mess about with it. So I'm going to get exit out of this. I'm going to upload my PHP reverse shell. Upload, submit, success. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is on this one, try this one. Netcat -nl vp1234. So that's what my port was listening. Let's get rid of that. And then, if we didn't mess this shell up like I did, you'll get another one. You'll get cleaner. We'll get cleaner output than this. Oh, goodness sake! I had to mess up. I knew this was going to happen. Basically, if you didn't mess this up, you'll get an internal, and you'll get like an uploads after that. So I'm going to kill this now because I don't need it. It's broken anyway. So go to here. We go internal uploads. Now we should see our nice file sat there. And then we click on that. We get a nice little reverse shell. Nice. So rim. So now what we need to do is go through those questions. Expiring soon again. What? Oh, that's 41 minutes there, it says. Apparently. Okay. Yeah, so what are we on now? If we go to our little questions, start running these questions around. So what does it say here? Where is the upload directory? Okay, we all know what that was. It's currently sat there, so we don't really need to go through that one too much. Okay, now we also went through the burp stuff. So the popular web extension was, well, I told you what it is. So go through the processes or watch the video if you don't know it. Doesn't need an answer. Next one was what was the actual accepted file extension? It's right here. And we come down some more, and then these are the questions that we need to start looking into. So we'll find this one out in a minute, and then you'll be able to get a user flag for yourself once you follow the processes. Okay, so let's minimize that so there's no cheating involved. And then we go back to what we were doing. So first things you might notice here is we should probably look at who am I. We are www data, so that might be one of the answers to the questions. It might not be, but if it's not that one, it's definitely going to be this one. So there's that. So, but also you might notice we haven't actually got a proper shell at the moment. So what I like to do when it comes to these sort of circumstances is I usually see if I can upgrade my TTY, because it just makes the whole process a lot nicer. So Python's a nice one to always check for. So which Python? Oh, we don't seem to have Python involved, or it could be not spelling it correctly, which there you go with Python. So what we can do, because I've already have these saved, you can find these on the internet quite easily. Just put upgrade TTY into Google, you'll find it. Okay, now we have not a full TTY, but it's certainly an improved shell. To improve it fully, what we can do now is we can Control Z, takes us back to our shell. Then we go STTY raw -echo. Don't mess this bit up because you'll really upset yourself. Then enter. Then FG. I know it won't take in the shell. That's fine. It has taken. Enter. Enter. And then you're here. We've got a shell now that also has a history and tab completion and whatnot. Okay. So where are we? So let's cd into Bill. And now if we ls, we have the user.txt. I'm not going to open it. You can do it yourself. Okay. So next bit, we need to priv-esc now. So on this box, there's a big clue on the privilege escalation bit that we need to look for a suid bit. Okay, suid bits basically inherit the privileges of the owner of the file and pass it to, well, if you are in this group and you have executable permissions, then you'll be able to execute it as that. And the same if you're global and it is a suid bit state, you'll be able to execute this program as whoever owns it. In this instance, it's going to be root. So this is why we want to find a file that is owned by root, so we can execute it and get and escalate our privileges. So what we can do to do that, we go find. So this is the find function on Linux, and then we want to start at the top directory. So we want to search the entire file system, is what we're saying there. As soon as I can get some actual, there we go, shell back. So find a file starting while searching the whole system. I want user own. I want the file to be owned by root. Then I want the permissions of said file to be there with the sticky bit. That's what the 4000 is. And then what was it? I can't remember what the other one was. That should be fine, to be fair, as long as the file owns that. And then yeah, then we go type. So I want the type of the file to be an actual file, so not a directory but a file. Okay. Then of the outputs that we get, I want to execute this command on it. This is what we're doing here. Okay. And then this basically, this curly braces means what we just said. This is the file. Okay. I started to look this up. There is a really good resource actually I'll show you called explainshell.com, which basically explains shells and whatnot. Okay. That's called explainshell.com. So if you ever come across some, why did it expire? I told you to not expire. Oh, okay, looks like I'm going to have to reset the machine. Weird. Oh, that's why this has died, isn't it? Oh, great. Let me pause this and just get it all up and running again. Okay, I'm not going to complain. Apparently it has like reset, but it hasn't reset, so I've still got code execution. So, okay, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to carry on blissfully unawares. So, execute this command on the file. This is the variable basically you're passing from here. Okay, and then this bit here, sometimes you might not need to escape it, sometimes you do. This is the end of this. Okay, and then I think we don't need to put a 2dev null, but we'll see. Run that, we need to put a 2dev null in there. Okay, so -2, come on, go dev null. Okay. Okay, so I put an error in there. I always do this. It's the 4000. There's a dash in front of it every single time. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So, when on CTFs, it's always good. It's not good to look at the most recent files that have been edited. So, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one, and look at this one. Systemctl should stand out from because obviously you use systemctl start process and stuff like that. So what we're going to use now, we're going to use a resource called gtfobins. gtfobins. Okay. And then we're going to go systemctl. Cool. We've got a sudo bit step. Nice. So this means this here tells us how to get execution on this machine. So what we're going to do in order to do this, I'm going to quickly run through and explain what this is. Okay. So systemctl manages all the processes on Linux systems. So that's what systemctl does. So and each systemctl process is called a unit, and these units have something called run from and use something called unit files. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new process and create a new unit file, and that's going to give us our priv. Okay, it took me a while to get my head around this. This is the first time I've done it as well, but it's pretty simple, pretty easy once you've done it and you've done it, you read up on it and stuff like that. So don't get your knickers in a twist. It'll be fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create something called an environment variable, and it's going to be a service. Okay, so all we need to do in this instance is just need to go to gtfobins, copy that, paste it. Okay, it's our environment variable, and this is what it is. Okay, it's a service. Okay, nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to echo some information into our file. Okay, echo that into there. Type one shot. Okay, paste. Okay, it's going on nicely. Okay, so this is the bit we're going to change a little bit. So instead of doing ID, what we're going to do, we're going to go ls. Well, you'll have to do something different if you want the output from root, but I'm just going to prove to you that I'm not lying. So ls-la root, okay, and that's going to give me the output of the root directory where the root.txt is. So root.txt. So obviously you can only list the root directory if you have root stuff. Okay. I also have to output that, so tmp /output. Okay. So basically, what I want you to do, call this command to this file and output the output of that I want you to save into the here. Okay. Next line, we're going to go copy, paste, wanted. Okay. So basically, these instructions are going to be put into our environment variable. Okay. Now, what we need to do, we need to create something called a symlink from the systemctl to our environment variable. Okay. I'll explain this in a minute. Don't you worry. You're a little ahead. So obviously that went wrong, but that's the reason why is because I didn't put the correct file in there. So what we need to do, we need to call the file that we saw up here. So bin systemctl. Okay, this will work this time, I promise. Okay, so if we look, create a symlink from here to where we are. Okay, don't worry too much about what it says, just know that it's working. Okay, then we just enable TF now, then we can do our business, get our information. Okay, so / bin, and then go boom. Now if I cat tmp output, we have root.txt. Okay, so what happened there? So what we did is we created a unit file, an environment variable in an area we could write to. Then we created a symlink where the system unit files are stored. So to explain this a little bit further, system unit files are saved in etc systemctl. That's where, yeah, so when we're using systemctl again manages processes and they're called units. Each unit has a unit file, and unit files are stored in systemctl. So we don't have write access to systemctl. So what we have to do, we have to create a symlink using systemctl in order to direct to one of our files that we can use locally. Now, in order to do this, what we can do is we can create a symlink. Symlinks are like shortcuts to files. So what systemctl has done is created a shortcut in the systemctl directory to our systemctl file in our unit file in our local directory that we used. So we created a temporary service or an environment. We created an environment variable with this information, or these instructions, should I say? And then we created a systemctl link to our environment variable, into our variable. So then we said enable now our environment variable, which means run this code basically, and that's what we did, and that's why we have now owned the box. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you, and I hope that helps you understand this box a little better. I found some of the other tutorials where they were good up to the priv point were good, but it just didn't really kind of fully explain this bit very well. Well, I hope you got something out of it, and I hope it helped a bit. Okay, well, thanks very much. Bye bye.